Most people talk about aging in simple terms. Slower steps, more birthdays, quieter mornings. But life after 80 brings changes few mention aloud. Not loud changes, quiet ones. They arrive slowly, often unnoticed at first. You may feel wiser than ever, yet strangely less visible. You may feel calm one moment, then deeply unsettled the next. This stage of life carries both peace and loss, presence and distance, connection and silence. What makes these changes difficult is not age itself. It is how unexpected they feel. Many people reach this time thinking they are prepared, then wonder why no one explained what truly shifts. This is not about fear. It is about awareness. When you understand what may lie ahead, you regain control. Surprise loses its power. In this video, we explore 5 quiet truths of life after 80. They are not spoken often, but they shape daily life in powerful ways. We will talk about circles that slowly grow smaller. Not suddenly, just steadily. We will talk about a body that recovers differently than before. Not broken, just changed. We will explore the discomfort of needing help, even when help is given with kindness. We will look at how society listens less closely, even when you have more experience than ever. And we will reflect on the ache that can appear when long days meet unfinished thoughts. These truths may feel heavy at first. That is natural. But they also open a door to acceptance, to resilience, and to shaping later life with dignity and intention. Nothing here is meant as medical advice. This is about observation and understanding. Stay with us, because seeing clearly changes everything. Now, let us begin with the first quiet truth. Number 1. A social circle that quietly disappears. One of the first changes after 80 is not physical. It is relational. It happens quietly, often without warning. The people who once filled your days slowly fade away. Not all at once. Just enough to notice something feels different. Friends stop calling as often. Some move away. Some pass on. Others simply grow tired. It is rarely intentional. It is rarely personal. Time pulls people in different directions. And after 80, that pull becomes stronger. One day, you notice your phone stays silent longer. Invitations arrive less frequently. Conversations feel shorter. Family still cares. But visits feel rushed. Schedules feel tight. Everyone is managing their own lives. Some are caring for others. Some are aging themselves. And slowly, everyday connection thins out. This is not something most people prepare for. In your 60s, people are still nearby. In your 70s, routines still exist. After 80, something shifts. You begin to outlive your social circle. You begin to repeat stories fewer people remember. The change is subtle. So subtle you may not name it at first. I once heard about an older man who followed the same routine daily. He visited the same cafe every morning for years. People knew his order. They knew his habits. They expected his smile. Over time, the familiar faces disappeared. Some stopped coming. Some could no longer drive. One morning, he sat alone at a familiar table. Nothing looked different. But everything felt different. He said the hardest part was not being alone. It was being unseen. This kind of loneliness is rarely dramatic. It does not always come with tears. Sometimes it feels like a longer evening, or a walk with too much silence. It is realizing fewer people truly know your story. And that list keeps shrinking. This can feel unsettling, even for strong, independent people. But understanding this truth changes how you respond. Connection after 80 works differently. It no longer arrives automatically. It often requires initiative and courage. That may mean joining a small group, attending a weekly gathering, making the first call. It may feel uncomfortable at first. That is normal. But connection does not disappear completely. It simply asks more of you now. And that does not mean weakness. It means adaptation. You have adapted before. You can adapt again. This stage of life invites intention. Choosing connection instead of waiting for it. The circle may be smaller, but it can still be meaningful. And recognizing this truth gives you back choice. Now let us move to the second reality. A change that shows up in a very different way. Number 2. A body that no longer bounces back. By 80, your body stops whispering. It speaks clearly. Small aches no longer pass quickly. They linger. Fatigue lasts longer than it used to, sometimes into the next day. What surprises many people is how fast things can change. After 80, small issues can reshape daily life. You may wake up feeling fine. The day begins normally. By evening, something feels off. Balance feels uncertain. Energy drops suddenly. What once needed rest now needs attention. Careful attention. Recovery becomes unpredictable. Not impossible, but different. This is not about doing something wrong. Many people do everything carefully. They eat well. They move gently. They sleep regularly. Yet the body still moves ahead of plans, making decisions without permission. A simple misstep can mean weeks of recovery. A short illness can drain energy for days. Even after improvement, things may not fully return. Balance feels slightly different. Breathing takes more effort. The bounce back is no longer automatic. What makes this difficult is uncertainty, not pain alone. You cannot always predict how your body will respond. That unpredictability can feel unsettling. I once heard about an older woman who valued her independence. She stayed active and engaged daily. She enjoyed gardening. She enjoyed walking nearby streets. She loved weekly reading discussions. One afternoon, she slipped while tending plants. The fall seemed minor. The injury healed. But strength did not return quickly. Weeks of rest turned into reduced movement. Confidence faded quietly. She said the hardest part was not pain. It was feeling unfamiliar in her own body. She expected rest to restore her. Instead, rest changed her rhythm. This is a truth few talk about. At 80, rest is not always restorative. Sometimes, even careful recovery brings lasting changes. That can feel discouraging. But there is another way to see this shift. Not as loss, but as adjustment. You are not bouncing back anymore. You are adapting forward. That distinction matters. Adapting forward means honoring your energy, using it wisely. It means pacing activities without guilt, resting with intention. It means respecting what your body has already carried you through. Health becomes a daily practice, not a promise. This video does not offer medical advice. It offers observation and reflection. When you move slower, awareness increases. When you rest longer, recovery becomes purposeful. A slower body can still support a strong spirit. That strength simply looks different now. If this reflection resonates with you, pause for a moment. Notice how your body feels today. If you are finding value here, gently let us know. You can comment number 2 below. And if you wish to continue these conversations, consider subscribing. New reflections arrive regularly, at a calm pace. Your presence helps keep this space thoughtful and supportive. Now, let us continue. The next truth is not about the body. It is about how the world begins to respond differently. Number 3. A growing need for help. No matter how independent you are, this shift arrives eventually. After 80, needing help becomes more common. It does not appear suddenly. It arrives quietly. You begin avoiding higher shelves. You hold the railing longer on stairs. You pause before driving in bad weather. You plan movements more carefully. Part of you still feels capable. Another part senses change. This is not failure. It is adjustment. What makes this difficult is not only physical. It is emotional. Many people spent decades caring for others, providing support, solving problems. Becoming the one who needs help can feel unsettling, even uncomfortable. You may worry about being a burden. You may hide small struggles, skipping errands, lifting things alone, keeping quiet about a fall. Pride becomes protective, but also isolating. The desire for independence does not disappear. It often grows stronger. But independence after 80 looks different. It is no longer about doing everything alone. It is about choosing how support enters your life. I once heard about an older man who valued self-reliance deeply. He had overcome many challenges earlier in life. He fixed things himself. He rarely asked for help. One winter, he slipped on a wet surface. Nothing serious happened. No broken bones. Only discomfort. He told no one. But something changed. A family member began visiting weekly. They brought groceries. They stayed for conversation. At first, he resisted. He insisted he was fine. Over time, those visits became routine. A shared cup of tea. A quiet conversation. Eventually, he admitted something unexpected. He felt lighter. Not weaker. Lighter. Accepting help did not take away his independence. It protected it. This is an important distinction. Help can extend your ability to live well. It can preserve energy for what matters most. Support does not always come from people. Sometimes it comes from small adjustments. A stable handrail. A kitchen stool. A reminder note. These supports do not reduce dignity. They safeguard it. Choosing safety is not surrender. It is wisdom. Choosing peace over struggle is strength, not weakness. After 80, courage often looks quieter. It sounds like a simple sentence. I could use some help. That sentence opens doors, not closes them. And when help is chosen intentionally, independence lasts longer. Now, let us move forward. The next truth is about how the world begins to see you differently. Number 4. A presence the world begins to overlook. One of the most painful changes after 80 is not physical. It is social. It is the feeling of being overlooked. Not always by family. Often by the world around you. It starts subtly. Almost unnoticeable. Someone looks past you in a line. A question is directed elsewhere. Conversations happen around you. Not with you. You are still present. Still listening. Still thinking. Yet attention moves on quickly. This can be deeply unsettling. Because being seen matters at every age. After a full life of work and decisions, being dismissed feels jarring. You did not lose your voice. Others simply stopped listening. This is rarely intentional. It is a fast world favoring speed. Slow steps are mistaken for silence. Quiet voices are mistaken for absence. Youth is celebrated. Experience is overlooked. That misunderstanding can leave marks. Not visible ones, but lasting ones. I once heard about an older woman who volunteered regularly. She knew her role well. One day, a simple question was asked nearby. She had lived that history personally. The question passed right over her, answered by someone else. She smiled politely. She stayed quiet. Later, she said she was used to it. That familiarity carried sadness. Not anger. Sadness. Being present but unseen changes how people shrink. Slowly. Quietly. Not because they cannot speak, but because they feel unheard. This is where choice still exists. You can choose to remain present, even when overlooked. You can speak your thoughts, ask questions, share experiences. You can take space gently, but firmly. Presence does not require volume. It requires intention. Every time you speak, you affirm yourself. Every time you engage, you resist fading. You are not background. You are history in motion. Your experiences carry meaning, even when the world rushes past. This video does not offer instruction. It offers recognition. If you are still here and listening, you matter. Your attention matters. If this reflection feels familiar, pause briefly. Acknowledge yourself. If these insights resonate, you may comment number 4 below. It helps us know you are here. And if you wish to continue these reflections, consider subscribing. New videos arrive calmly and regularly. Your presence supports this shared space. Now, let us continue. The final truth is quieter still. Number 5. Regret appears when purpose is not redefined. As you move deeper into your 80s, a different quiet arrives. Not only in your home, but within you. Life slows in noticeable ways. Days feel longer. Schedules feel lighter. The calendar holds more empty space. At first, that space feels peaceful. Then it begins to fill with memories. Moments replay without warning. Some memories bring warmth. Others bring questions. Regret rarely enters loudly. It enters quietly. It sounds like gentle thoughts. I wish I had stayed longer. Why did I wait? I thought there would be more time. These thoughts surface when time increases. But energy does not always follow. That imbalance can feel heavy. This experience is rarely discussed openly. Because aging is often framed positively. We talk about wisdom, freedom from work, family moments. All of that is real. And still, another question remains. What now? If your life was shaped by responsibility, its absence can feel unsettling. For decades, purpose came naturally. You worked. You provided. You cared for others. Then one day, those roles slow or stop. Not suddenly, but permanently. Without a new definition, purpose feels distant. I once heard about an older man who spent many years teaching. His work gave his days structure. After retirement, pride mixed with emptiness. He felt unnecessary. He believed his usefulness had ended. That belief weighed on him. The truth was different. Purpose had not disappeared. It was waiting to be reshaped. Purpose does not retire. It changes form. You may no longer build things, but you build confidence with stories. You may no longer lead groups, but you lead through presence. You may no longer solve large problems, but you ease loneliness nearby. These contributions are quieter, but not smaller. Regret grows when purpose stays tied to productivity, instead of presence. Everyone has regrets. That is part of being human. The danger is staying inside them too long, without transformation. When purpose is redefined, Regret loosens its grip. Meaning returns gradually. Purpose after 80 is not about output. It is about impact. A listening ear matters. A shared memory matters. A calm presence matters more than you realize. This stage of life invites a new kind of purpose. One rooted in being, not doing. Being attentive. Being kind. Being curious. You begin asking a different question each morning. Not, what must I accomplish? But, how can I show up today? That question changes everything. Purpose becomes lighter, yet deeper. You stop chasing significance and begin noticing it. In a smile, in a conversation, in quiet moments. The most important work after 80 is often unseen, but deeply felt. This is not about correcting the past. It is about honoring the present. Regret fades when meaning is chosen intentionally, day by day. It is never too late to redefine purpose. Never too late to matter. Not loudly, but profoundly. Reaching your 80s is not a small achievement. It is a milestone shaped by many years. Years of effort. Years of love. Years of loss. Years of change and adaptation. Years of resilience. Every decade leaves its mark. Some visible. Some hidden. With this depth comes new challenges. Some are subtle. Others are harder to ignore. Facing these realities does not weaken you. It clarifies you. It means you have lived long enough to see life clearly. Not idealized. Not simplified. Life is unpredictable. Sometimes unfair. Yet still worth engaging with. Still worth showing up for. We have explored 5 quiet truths together. Each one shapes daily life differently. Which one stayed with you the longest? Was it the silence that grows as circles shrink? The quiet moments between conversations? Was it the body that no longer recovers quickly? The frustration of slower healing? Was it the discomfort of needing help? After years of being the helper? Was it the feeling of being overlooked? When the world moves too fast to notice you? Or was it the question of purpose? When familiar roles fade away? Whatever touched you most, you are not alone. Not in slowing down. Not in forgetting. Not in questioning what comes next. Not in moments of uncertainty. These experiences are shared by many, even when they feel private. Here is the important part. Even now, choice remains. Choice does not disappear with age. It changes form. You can choose connection, even when it requires effort. You can choose rest, without guilt. You can choose to ask for help, without shame. You can choose to speak when overlooked, and listen when others need care. You can choose forgiveness for what did not happen. You can choose appreciation for what did. This stage of life is not an ending. It is the deep part of the story. The part where meaning becomes concentrated. Where words carry more weight. Where small gestures matter more than grand ones. A kind look. A patient pause. A thoughtful response. These become sources of strength. Your presence matters now more than ever. Your patience holds value. Your perspective carries wisdom earned through time. This chapter invites gentleness toward yourself, toward others. It invites honesty without fear, reflection without judgment. If something in this video resonated, take a moment, sit with it. If you feel comfortable, share one thought below. What stayed with you today? Your reflections are welcome here. They help build understanding. Reading your comments encourages this space to grow. If you found this video meaningful, consider subscribing. New reflections arrive regularly. You may also choose to like or share this video. Your support helps continue these conversations. Thank you for spending this time with us. We appreciate your presence. We look forward to meeting you again. Until next time, take care.